Rexic, the king stream. Rexic, that's right, it's Rexic, the king. There is no shortage of games he'll play for you, be it Fall Guys, Fortnite, Marvel Rivals, or Overwatch 2. Rexic, that's right, it's Rexic, the king. Awesome Mounts is back after many moons. That purple surfer still makes him swoon. Rexic, that's right, it's Rexic, the king. Now without much further ado, he's going to start the stream for you. There's only a few seconds to go. He hopes that you enjoy the show.
Hello everybody, welcome in to another Rexic stream on this fine Thursday the 28th. How's everybody doing today? Good to see you as always. Hope your Wednesday was good, hope your Tuesday was even better, once you were no longer graced with my presence. How's everybody doing? How are you chilling on this summer day? It was quite warm for here today. I just got back from my bike ride a bit ago, so I still got my fan on, trying to relax. But good to see you all. And good as always. What's been going on with everybody? As you know, I finished Persona 5, so I'm on Persona 5 Strikers, finished that whole journey, so I'm on on a catching up with some YouTube videos thing before I go into the next game, which I've decided it's going to be Princess Peach Showtime, and then after I finish that, I'll go to Splatoon 3. So that'll be I looked at the time to beat, stuff like that. There's only a couple hours for Showtime, where Splatoon 3 and the DLC is longer, so it made more sense to do Peach first. Giggity. So that'll be cool. But I still got some videos to catch up on. Stuff like the Game Grumps Minish Cap. Got some of those, some Spill the Milks videos, all that good stuff. But it's all good, I got it worked out. So what has been going on for you for this Thursday before we get to arting? I went out to the town earlier. I got all the bottles and cans and stuff recycled, got that good old money for him. $38 or so for a couple bags, pretty good. Not too shabby. Though it's definitely warm there, because way more direct sunlight and stuff over closer to the water. Then went to the store, got some cool stuff as always. Got some Reese's filled pretzels, which is pretty good. Instead of the normal peanut butter, it's the Reese's one. They also had the Oreo Reese's, at least the mini versions. So it's the little a Reese's cup, it has Oreo crumbles in it, I suppose would be the term. Little pieces of that, pretty cool. I have not tried those yet, but I'll have some after dinner. And I looked, I could not find the Reese's Oreos, because it's a two-sided collaboration thing. So they have there's Oreos, which is with a Reese's peanut butter in it, and that's the part of their their mix of the collab. So I looked for that, I didn't find it. I mean, I don't think it just came on sale just a within a week ago or so, so it'll probably be just a bit of time for that to show up at my local stores, hopefully. I prefer not to try to get it on Amazon or Target and do shipping stuff, you know. I mean, I would if I have to, but hopefully not. Oh yeah, I'll report back after I try those, don't you worry. What else been going on? The one like Persona 5 commission is like getting pushed back a little bit with the artist. Like, hopefully they don't cancel it, because it's been like waiting like a long time for it. So hopefully it's just like able to do it after their current set, because it wouldn't look as good if I tried to get a different artist for it. Well, I've gotten many from DTK before, so I want to stick with them for this one. Like, especially since they've been like raising prices, and it's like more and more out of my affordable range, you know. So it's like there's like a non-zero chance it's like the last one I can commission from him. So I'd like it to be this one, you know. So we'll just have to see how that all goes. What else been going on? Not a whole lot. I'll try to think of more as we go on, but I should probably get into the Blender learning for today, shouldn't we? I should be picking back up where we left off before. So there's like sprinkles. We got those added, but they're just like basic circles. So this one is like getting them into like the line shape, getting colors on them, that sort of thing. So let me shift the capture over to Blender. There we go. And open up the little tutorial so you could learn along with me. Not possibly. You'll probably learn like better than me, honestly. Alright. So let us get this going.
We've got round sprinkles. Why not long sprinkles? It'll be
Good
more
question.
interesting, and it'll enable us to learn some new techniques about Blender, which is what this whole series is about. So first things first, we need to model those sprinkles. So let's move to the left here, and we want to add an object. We haven't mentioned it before, but when you add an object, it's going to put it at your 3D cursor, and your 3D cursor is that.
I gotta remember how I move. Shift? Okay, it's shift, and I was doing the control. I never hit the control button usually. Like, very few games usually need it.
That thing. That weird little thing, your 3D object. We haven't mentioned. Let's move to the left here, and we want to add an object. We haven't mentioned it before, but when you add an object, it's going to put it at your 3D cursor, and your 3D cursor is that thing.
Oh, okay.
That weird little thing,
yeah, the
little
weird,
crosshair at the bottom
center
there.
Of the
That's your 3D cursor. And yeah, I don't know, Blender has a 3D cursor, maybe other applications don't. It's going to put it there. And if you don't want it there, you can move that 3D cursor somewhere else by hitting Shift and right-clicking, and you can see it's now moved it and actually attached it to the plane, which.
Huh. Hold on. Trying to see if it like moved like. Okay, no, it still seems like it goes like the radius of there, not like change like the world center for that. Okay, just checking.
Is where we would want it. If you don't have a mouse, do get a mouse. But in the interim, you can also use the cursor tool.
Oh, okay, you can do that just directly. Cool.
All right, so we're adding long sprinkles. So obviously the object that we want to add is Shift-A, Mesh. It's the cylinder. Okay.
Shift-A, Mesh, cylinder. Cylinder and it's big. Yep. So I have to shrink that down.
Too big by default. So let's click this little thing, bring this up, change the radius all the way to its lowest and the depth all the way to its lowest.
Okay, lowest on both. Might be too small, but I'll see where we're going.
And the vertices, that's the like the resolution, right? Oh, we'll fix that in a sec.
Can I even see it from the sides? No, that's too small. No, I want. There we go. All right. I don't know why it's like so small. Why can't I go back anymore? What? Hold on. What was the... Fuck, what was, like, the way to get back to that? Just clicking up there? Okay. Alright. It's on there. Shift A, mesh. That cylinder. What does he have that? 0.001, so mine went, like, further than that. 0.001. 001. And I don't see it. Oh, no, I want to. God damn it. Yeah, no, that's way too small. I don't understand why it's like so different for his.
The resolution would be way too high at 32 to be scattered on an object. So let's set this to 12, and that'll be just enough that it won't.
12. And how do I get back to that part though? There's like some way to do it, but it's like otherwise it has to be like when it's spawned in. So 1 second, I thought I set it so it's like to have like more control Z's, but it's not doing that for some reason. Where's the settings? Edit? Preferences? Undo steps like 256. I should have plenty. I should be like unlimited pretty much. Okay. Let's try this on a different spot. There. Alright, Shift A, mesh. A cylinder. I did lower that to 12. 1, 2. I tried dot 0, 1. Dot 0, 1. Dot 0, 1. And that is still... That's still far too small, I can't even see it. I can't move the freaking thing up. This is... Okay, why can't I zoom in any more than this? I don't understand. Now I can't even do that again. God dang it. This. Place it there. Where's this scale? Where's that whole freaking scale mode thing? I don't know. Alright, Shift A. Oh, wrong one. Shift A, mesh. Cylinder. Fuck it, let's have it be visible. Alright, how about that?
Look jagged and it'll look smooth. Okay,
I don't know why it
great.
didn't work otherwise.
Now, I'm going to move this up just so it's above the plane, Z. Okay. Now this...
I move it above the plane. No, up. I don't understand how that one works. There. No, what the... No. Stay there. No, don't remove the menu. God dang it. Whatever.
This problem that you have, if you go in too far, it disappears. The reason for that is that...
Do I have that? I don't have that. What the hell? Whatever.
that Blender has a clipping start value. And because we're working at such a small scale, we've got sprinkle sized things now, it's too small and it's clipping it out. So if you hit N and go to your view tab, the clip start value there, it's 1 centimeter by default, drag it all the way to the left and it's now a millimeter and it will have fixed that. I don't know why it's not the default. Like maybe somebody can tell me why is that not the
what?
Fix that. 1 centimeter by default, drag it all the way to the left and it's now a millimeter and it
Okay, drag there. I can't get any further than that. I can get back a hell of a ton, but like can't even zoom in fully for there. Very, very weird and
will have
annoying.
fixed that. I don't know why it's not the default. Like maybe somebody can tell me why is that not the default value? Maybe there's a reason, but to me that would make sense.
50. Mine's 52. Well, it's not 52, it's 50 as well. Okay, so just continue.
Because then you never have this problem. I don't know any disadvantages. So anyway, we've got the base of a sprinkle. Need to make it long, so tab into edit mode, S, scale it Z along the Z axis to elongate it. And now we've got the rough.
Okay, tab, edit, Z. I get that freaking thing out of there. Tab, edit, S, Z. I do that. I don't know how to go back to that. Why is it not? Why is it not letting me tap it again? What the hell? Thing S for scale. It's doing nothing. What? Cylinder. S. There. Go that way. Oh, why is it? What? Okay. No, but if I do that, then I can't fucking see it. So I have to have it bigger.
Length of a sprinkle. But how long is a sprinkle?
I don't freaking
There's
know, man.
no actual answer to that. If you look at reference,
5
they
feet?
are all over the
I don't
place. The government evidently never stepped in and said, like, we're going to regulate it. This is the length of a sprinkle. This is the size of a sprinkle. I mean, it's the Wild West out there. They're doing crazy things. So what that means as artists is we get to pick whatever is most visually pleasing. And I like the ones which are more readable. And to show you what I mean, if we pull up 2, right?
Like
This one on the left
ones.
is like large sprinkles, right? Very like bold. And then one on the right here is like long, thin, wispy ones that look like they get stuck in your teeth. And if we zoom out on this and then zoom out on this, you can see that the ones on the right tend to kind of like the colors and everything just kind of blur together and it just looks like a donut. Whereas the one on the left, the sprinkles are still readable. So that's what we mean by readable, and that's the one I like the most. So we're going to go with some larger looking long sprinkles, but you can see that the sizes, there's no standard size because I think it's actually like it's from a piping bag, at least if you make them at home, but you can just pipe out icing and then when it dries, you just smash it up and it becomes sprinkles.
Icing? I thought it was sugar.
But yeah, they just come out at any odd size. So we got long ones, we got medium ones, we got short ones, and we've even got some curvy looking ones, right? These little like just slightly bent-ish looking ones. So we're going to model small, medium, large, and a bent-ish looking one, and then we're going to scatter that across the object. So back in Blender, this is going to be, yeah, this will be the short one, okay? But
scale it to the short one. Now, how do I do it with the, make it wider? Yeah. Why can't it let me, there. Active object has negative scale. Oh, it does let me move, like, very... God damn it. I make it bigger. You know, F it. On where's my select everything? All that shit. Bigger. And then move it up. Up, I say. Up, I say. Scale. I'm not edit mode, I want... Select everything. Everything bigger. Then move it back to there. What the... Huh? No, move it to... Where'd it go? What the hell? There. Almost. Whoop. Almost. I think that's right. There. Move that. Cylinder. There. Resize so it's like the fatter one. There we go. Okay. This I'll say... I just saw a negative scale. I made it like way bigger. One sec. One a moment. I'm gonna turn it off for a second so I can actually use Chrome. Blender project has negative scale. Export. No. Object mode. Control A. Scale. Object mode. Control A. Scale. What? I'll just undo that. All right. Whatever. Right. If I zoom in for this, I can see it easier. Face select mode. Where the hell is that? I can't see it. I need a freaking title to go away. On edit mode. Edit mode. Face select, okay. Right. Okay. Bottom and top. I can't see it because it's a freaking plane. Wait. Okay. Control B. Control B. And make it a pencil. Okay, so like that. Right. Oh. Okay, hold on. Control B. Go like there. Scroll up there. So like that. Okay. Okay. Pretty handy. Shade smooth. If you don't stream, you thank you, Acrid. I want the whole thing. Edit. Shade smooth. Okay. Okay, Shift D. Shift D. Shift D. Shift D. Oh, dang it. Why is it not doing the freaking Control Z? Here, Shift D. X. That's not the right access. What the? Okay. Shift D. X. There. What the heck? Edit mode. Toggle wireframe. Toggle X-ray. No, what? No, no, no. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Where's toggle wireframe? I don't see that. Viewport shading, no. This? Is that the right thing? It doesn't look like it. Oh, and I never turned the tab back on. My bad. Sorry about that.
And vertices and just move
Oh, I
along
need
the
to-
x-axis. This is going to be the medium
Get out
one.
of the way, title.
So edit mode, and I'm going to go into toggle wireframe and vertices select mode. And
wireframe and vertices select. There. Right. That's actually, what is the wireframe thing he's doing? What the shit?
one sprinkle. So now we need to create
like.
3 more. So this is the small. So let's go Shift D and then X to just move it along the x-axis. This is going to be the medium one. So edit mode, and I'm going to go into toggle wireframe and
2 boxes.
Vertices.
And the box over on the left. 2 boxes. Box over on the left. Vertices. Oh, I got a notification. Nothing. Okay. The box there.
Select mode, And now, selecting the top part of the sprinkle, hit G, Z, and I'm going to move, oops, if you've got proportional editing, turn that off. G, Z, move that up.
G, Z, on select. G, Z, up. Okay.
Okay, that'll be the medium one. Yep. And now Shift D, X, move it along. This is
Shift D, X. Shift D, X. No, getting it. Shift D. No. Shift D. Dang it, stop it. Shift D. Don't move. I didn't even move the mouse. There. There.
going to be the long one. So edit mode. And again, G, Z, move it up.
Edit mode. G. No, dang it. G, D. G, C. There. Okay.
And this is going to be the long sprinkle. I don't go too long, maybe that long. Okay. And then I want to make a bent sprinkle that's slightly
It's on object mode. Switch back to that.
like curved. So Shift D, X, move it across. And now with
Okay, Shift D, X. What do we do? Huh? What is that? What? I got rid of that one. What the hell? You're 2 now. There. Shift D, X. Or no, how do I X there? Move the freaking thing off the shift. That's really annoying. Okay.
this one, if I was to try to like curve this out, there's not enough information here. Like if I move that, it's just a straight edge there.
Yeah.
So if I want to make it curved, I got to have more geometry there. So like we've done in the past, Control R is how you create a loop cut. So when you do that, it says, where do you want to put it? I want more than one though. So I'm going to scroll up till I get, yeah, just a bunch of.
Okay, Control R. Control. No, I want. No, why is that? Control R. Control R. Control R. I was hitting Shift. Okay. Hold on. Control R. Some of those. Okay. No, let me freaking. I don't even know if that was right. God damn it. It won't let me like move the mouse to
loops
the
until I get what looks
it.
like square faces on those points, somewhere around that. I don't want to go too high poly. Yeah, like that. What is that? That's in the bottom left-hand corner. 8 cuts. Okay.
8 cuts. Control R. Control R. I don't see a number there. What the hell? Move that there. Number cuts. Oh, wait. Okay. Good.
Click, and then it's saying where do you want to place it. Right click to cancel the movement so it places it right in the center. And now, oh, yep, there we go. Okay. Now we
turn it to the full circle. I know, why is that like messed up? What the hell? Alright, hold on. Control R. Okay. And a full circle, good.
We've got this one over here that is just long and straight but low poly, and this one same shape but high poly.
Right.
So to add a bend to it, in previous tutorials, I actually went into like edit mode and we did like proportional editing, and it was just complicated and it actually didn't look great. I've learned actually there's a modifier that'll do it very simply. Go to your modifier stack, add modifier. You could find it inside here, or you could search for it, but it's the simple.
That's the simple deform. So like the little wrench modifier. Simple. And that just looks weird.
Deform modifier. So add that, and by default it is wrong. So change it from twist to bend. And look at that.
Okay. Twist to bend. Good.
That we've got our sprinkle. Ha! And you can very easily, whoops, change the amount from a little curve to a large curve. And I think somewhere around the 30-degree mark. You will notice.
Okay. What? Hot girl. Boing. That's 30 degree. Okay. Is that the macaroni good?
Though that it's like it's bent more at this angle, and that's because it's bending it according to the origin point. So you see these little dots, you might have wondered what they are in Blender. That's called your origin point, and it's used for a lot of things. Like if you rotate an object, you can see it's rotating from the point of that origin point. Like physics, a bunch of things use the origin point. The best way to think of it is like the center of mass for the object. So generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, you want it to be in the center of the object. And you can do it very quickly. You select multiple objects. You want to clear its origin point. Shift, select all of them, and then right click, and then say set origin to geometry.
Shift, select. Wait, hold on. Also, hi Delta. How are you doing? Just trying to do this sprinkle stuff.
Generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, you want it to be in the center of the object. And you can do it very quickly. You select multiple objects. You want to clear its origin point. Shift, select all of them, and then right objects. You want to clear its origin point. Shift, select all of them.
Shift, select. Mine's not doing that. There we go. Why is it not? There we go. Pretty good. Just got home. Nice. Very cool.
And then right click and then say set origin to geometry.
Set origin to geometry. Origin to geometry.
And now you can see it's put it in the middle. And now our curve is actually based on the starting in the middle, which is what we want. So yay for us. Now I need to apply this or else the next part it'll go wonky.
Apply. Apply. Okay.
So apply your simple deform so that it's actually realized onto the mesh. Okay, so going to your outline, you can see we started from humble beginnings, but we've now got too much going on, and it's all starting to get a little bit chaotic. So the way you organize things in your outline and in Blender generally is you can group things together by creating collections. So by default, we've actually got one collection already, just called collection, but we can create new collections by this little button in the top right-hand corner to create a new collection. And I want to create.
Hold on. New collection? I don't have that. A deck? Let's go back further.
So the way you organize things in your outline and in Blender generally is you can group things together by
plus. There? That's a view layer. Displaying. Can't see the workspace. I don't have the new layer thing. Or new collection. What the heck?
creating collections. So by default, we've actually got one collection already, just
Maybe like a
called
shortcut to do it,
collection.
we'll say?
But we can create new collections by this little button in the top right-hand corner to create a new collection. And I want to create it outside of our, I mean, I don't actually know if we need, like,
Yeah, or am I just on the wrong part? No, I don't have the thing there. What the heck? I got filter, I got name the layer, but I don't have the new one. Let's see if he says how
I
to.
don't know why it creates a
do that.
collection for you. For no, I mean, you could just, it's in the scene collections.
It
Anyways,
is
I
in
don't know
the
if we
scene
actually need that one. So we create a new collection just by hitting that, and we can double.
Hold on. A Blender new collection. M shortcut new collection. Let's see if that's right. Move that down. Collection. No, that doesn't work. What the heck? Control G. Control. No. Looking on that. No. What the hell? Up there. Okay. You could say it works with a right click, man.
We'll click it to rename it to be whatever it is we want. So I'm going to call this Sprinkles. Okay.
Right. Self-explanatory. And I am not understanding this program.
And because we
like
have two types of
easier.
sprinkles, we have the sphere round sprinkle, and then we have these long sprinkles. I'm going to create two other collections within this collection. So hitting new again, you can see it's placed it underneath it.
Okay.
And I'm going to call this one round.
Round. New collection. Round sprinkles on purple donuts.
And then clicking sprinkles again, I'll add another collection, and this one I will call long. Oh, wait, sorry.
Long. New collection. Long. Okay. Move that downside more room.
This one. Long. There we go. Okay, so to move something to a collection, you can do it one of two ways. One, you can select the sphere, which is the round. Remember, it's this little guy over here, the little tiny round sprinkle. You can just drag that into the that collection, and you can see it's now moved it there. The other way is in your 3D viewport. If you select all of the objects that you want to move.
I don't see the sphere. Oh, there it is. Move that to round.
Sprinkle. You can just drag that into the that collection, and you can see it's now moved it there. The other way is in your 3D viewport. If you select all of the objects that you want to move to a new collection, hit M, and it brings up this, and you just say move to the spring.
M. Okay, now that one worked. Wait, which one did I put it into?
Sprinkles long sub collection.
Okay. Sprinkles long. Okay.
There we go. And now they're all moved there.
Right.
And now this one here, if you wanted to give this a name, you could. We got the camera, we got the light, we got the plane. Yeah, you know what? Let's move our donut and our icing. Let's move that to a new collection as well. So M, and we can actually create a new collection from
sprinkles and icing. Oh wait, what? It's already in its own. Right. Huh? Why is that still being seen? The plane. That's like already paired together. Whatever. That new collection. Just guessing donut. What are they gonna call it? My
On
assumption.
the move options as well. So I'm going to go new, and let's call this
Okay.
let's say donuts, because we're going to duplicate it and make more donuts in the future.
Ah, okay. No, donuts. There. Okay.
So donuts. Okay, great. So now this one here has got
Donuts
the
don't
camera, the
tell.
light, and the plane. So I'm going to do what I sometimes do with a scene is just call this one ENV, which is for environment. Since this is a tutorial, I'll actually just type it out.
Okay. Environment, but no. Environment. I think that's typed right. Maybe.
I'm not going to be lazy. Environment. Okay, so we've got some organization in our scene so that as we add and grow our scene, it's not going to get too crazy.
Right.
All right, so it's also good that we've created collections because we can now use that to scatter across the geometry nodes. So with our donut here, so the icing and the donut, we're going to create a duplicate, and this is going to be the variant with the long sprinkles.
Okay, duplicate donuts. Hey, what the? Why is that? Why is it doing that? Okay, it's just on that version. Weird. I don't
So
understand
Shift D and then hit X to move it along the X axis.
that. Okay, Shift D. That's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Shift D X. Huh? Wait, why is that not doing it? They're on.
So with our donut here, so the icing and the donut,
They're on
we're going to
object
create a
mode.
duplicate, and this is going to be the variant with the
Okay. Object mode. I don't know why it's like that. It's really weird. Shift D. Shift D X. I don't know. Very strange. Why isn't his doing that? Why is
long
mine messed up?
sprinkles. So Shift D and then hit X to move it along the X axis.
I don't
So
understand.
let's just place next to it. And then clicking your icing, you can see we've got the modifier stack that we created the geometry nodes on. And if we were to start tweaking this and make this look like long sprinkles, it would apply to this one over here because we can see that little number next to it.
Geometry nodes? What? Okay.
And that number, if you hover over it, I think we mentioned it before,
Ew.
but it displays the number of users sharing this data. So any change you make to this is going to be reflected on that one.
Oh,
So if we click the 2
Okay.
button, it's now independent.
that clicks the 2 button. Okay.
So we'll now have 2 different versions. So the one on the left, the original one, let's call that round sprinkles.
One on the left. One on the left. Hey, what did I click on for that?
The original one, let's call that round sprinkles.
There's squares and a square one in it. I can't do. What the heck is I don't understand this. Like, why is like his like all clear and like mine's all weird? Like all like refracting and stuff like that. Uh, okay. I think I
And the
got
one on
it.
the right, let's call that one long. Brain.
Round sprinkles. Uh, round sprinkles. I gotta find the one here. There. Uh, long sprinkles. Okay. But then now it's called long sprinkles. What the? What? I don't understand.
Any change you make before, but it displays the number of users sharing this data. So
And it's
any
like,
change
click
you
on
make to
that.
this is going to be reflected on that one.
And
So if we
after
click
two,
the 2 button, it's now independent. So we'll now have
and it's
2.
on like the little wrench. And it's on the wrench.
Different versions. So the one on the left, the original one, let's call
Geometry
that
nodes.
round spread.
Geometry. I don't see that on here. And that one's... No, it didn't select up. Didn't select the icing. What the hell? What am I doing wrong with this? Why is it not doing the more Control Z? There. Okay. I don't want to see that. Why is it doing this? Alright, hold on. Uh, Control D. If I have that. Select it. Control D. Not working. What the? I don't understand this. Maybe like something with the collection or something.
We got the camera, we got the light, we got the plane.
I do not know.
You know what? Let's move our donut and our icing. Let's move that to a new collection as well. So M.
Let me try and go back some before that collection was made. Scene collection. Icing, donut, M, new collection, donuts, right? Okay, I did that following the video.
And we can actually create a new collection. Ooh, let's say, great. So now this one here has ENV environment. Okay, so we
turn the normal one to environment again. Okay. Environment. Okay. Did that.
got some organization in our scene so that as we add and grow our scene, it's not created collections because we can now use that to scatter across the geometry nodes.
Right.
So with our donut here, so the icing and the donut, we're going to create a duplicate
How
our collections because we can now use that to scatter across our scene so that as we add and grow our scene, it's not going to get too crazy.
That.
All right, so it's also good that we've created collections because we can now use that to scatter across the geometry nodes. So with our...
Like, how is he selecting those? Like then this and this? That's like already part of it.
donut here, so the icing and the donut, we're going to create a duplicate, and this is going to be the variant with the long sprinkles. So Shift D, and then hit X to move it along the...
Shift D, X. Shift D, X. Move that... wait, no, I want what? Shift D, X. There. I don't know why that's under the thing now. Does not make any sense. I can move it up with that. And it's like that way. I don't understand this at all. Okay, there.
X-axis, so it's just placed next to it, and then clicking your icing
moving part yet, man.
You can see we've got the modifier stack that we created the geometry nodes on, and if we were to start tweaking this and make this look like a little number next to it, okay, sharing this data. If we click the 2,
click it off the 2. I'm on the modifiers, but I don't see that one. What the? They have the gear selected. I had it on that one. Not there. What the? And why is the icing not selected? What is going on? And then that part's gone. Okay, there. Alright, toggle the 2 off.
Button, it's now independent, so we'll now have 2 different versions. So the one on the left, the original one, let's call that round sprinkles.
Okay, click on the original. Icing. Select the whole word, please. Round sprinkles. Okay. And then this one. Why is that still called round sprinkles? What the heck? Do you know Blender at all? What am I doing wrong with this? Like, I took off the 2 from that one. It shouldn't be on there. I do not understand this at all. I don't know why it's showing this, like, modifier thing. Where's the...
And the one on the right, let's call that one long. Okay, brain fart for a second there.
I thought I have selected. Geometry nodes. Or... Alright, hold on. Also donut, yeah. I'm very much confused with this.
It to be, and then we call this one to be rounded there.
Right.
The sprinkles one here, light. We got. Let's move that to a new. Yeah, you know what? Let's move our donut.
Okay, have the modifier.
Our donut and our icing. Let's move that to a new collection as well. So M, and we can call this donuts. And do what I sometimes call actually just type in, so that as we. It's also good that we've created collections because we can now.
Alright, then what do they select here though? What is
use that to scatter across the geometry nodes.
The icing geometry.
Look it, and this is going to be.
Alright, hold on 1 second. See, is my. I am. This Blender tutorial. If you are awake, don't know if they are. Alright. No, I want to this.
The variant with the long sprinkles. So Shift D and then hit X to move it along the X axis. So it's just placed next to it. And then clicking your icing, you can see we've got the modifier stack that we created the geometry nodes on.
What's the icing? It goes to geometry nodes. I do not. Okay. I have that one. The one's called round sprinkles, which I tried to change that one to. Don't know why it's like tying that together. It's supposed to be. Okay, that one. Round. I think. And sprinkles. And in this one, long. Okay. Okay, and that time it did it. Okay. Weird.
And if we were to start tweaking this and make this look like Lomba Next users sharing this data. So any change you make, it's now independent. So we'll now have two round, brain fart for a second there, long sprinkles. Okay. And now with that object selected, let's go.
Right on with which object selected.
And now with that object selected, let's go back to the geometry nodes tab.
Okay. This. What the hell? Okay.
Okay. All right. So make sure you're looking at the right object. Make sure it's the one with long sprinkles in the name.
Long sprinkles. Right. It's the right one.
And if we were to start editing here, we would have we would have made one big mistake, and it's because this is actually not the long sprinkles node setup. We clicked the pin button. Remember that? The pin means it's always going to be there, even if it's another object with a different.
So unclick the pin.
Geometry node setup. So remember, yeah, it's a common mistake. You always do it. You forget you've got pin on and then you start changing things and it does the wrong one. So make sure you're looking at the one that has long sprinkles in the name.
Right.
Okay. So the bit that obviously matters the most is this bit where it goes into our instance on points node.
Object info. So like move that. And this one there.
And we've currently got it connected to a sphere. So, I mean, you could change that to another object, but that won't help us because we've got more than one object. We want to scatter 4 different objects across it. So we can delete that and instead just
delete it. Delete. Okay. And then that's gone.
Drag from your outliner. Don't just, if you click on it, oh yeah, if you click off it, it's just going to disappear. So make sure you don't do it. You've clicked the icing, but you need to click and drag into your node setup. And now it's got a...
Okay, click and drag the long one. Click and drag. Okay. I did that.
A collection info node rather than object info node. Drag that into your instance input.
Instance to instance. Okay.
And nothing happened. It has actually happened, but it's off center in a weird.
It is. No, it isn't. I don't see it anywhere. What the heck? Mine does not have it. With that
weird place. Why is it doing that? It's because of the way 3D software handles data. It's now doing it on its like global or local position, not relative to, anyway, it doesn't matter. What you need to do is check 3 boxes whenever you use collections to scatter. Separate, reset children. Now it's on the mesh.
Separate and reset. Separate and reset. Okay.
Correctly, and then you can see it's actually using all 4 of them on each point.
Oh, giant. So hold on. No, I want to. Oh, stop. I want just the. Those lower that. size. There. And that did nothing with that. What the heck? Alright, hold on. Let me try lowering their size first, maybe? Scale. Oh, I want... No. Pretty... That would be small. How do I... No. Move it towards that, but then it only goes like... There. Move that there. I tried to have them like smaller, but then it was like not even showing up. Like much like it was there. Okay, so then separate children. Reset children, but then it's like big again. What the?
So then you click pick instance, and now it's going to use one of those, not all four of them.
A pick instance? Does that do? No, it's like all still giant. What the heck? What am I? What the heck am I doing wrong here? Like I made them smaller. Why is it not changing that size? What the heck? They do the scale wrong, or it's like on the video. Hold on.
To go right, 3, not relative to.
Like it's a
Anyway,
lot
it doesn't matter.
smaller there. It's like already like pretty small here. And maybe if I do, I'll move that down. If I do scale on everything smaller, if I can, doesn't seem like it for some reason. Shift. I want. Okay, we go back to this. Everything smaller. There. Maybe that's what I had to do. And then control base back onto this. No, and then that's still big. What the heck? Why is that still big? Do you know Blender at all, Delta? Do you have any idea why it's just like all weird like that? I have no idea. I move that scale? Uh, 0.5? Got no clue. Gotcha. 0.5? 0.03? Trying to like random numbers. Okay, that seems better. I don't know why it didn't like change before, but okay.
What you need to do is check
I don't know why he
set
didn't have
children.
to do that for
Now
his.
it's on the mesh correctly, and then you can see it's actually using all four of them on each point. So then you click pick instance, and now it's going to use one of those, not all four of them together. Okay. So it's good. It's using it, but what's going on? Well, the reason this one was easier with its round sprinkles is that the rotation of the objects didn't matter because it was round. Now that we have long sprinkles, you can see the rotation matters, and it's currently screwed up. So how do we fix that?
You may.
The first way, well, yeah, there's a number of things you need to do to make it work correctly. You'll see.
So just remove that one over again. Okay. Those three. And that one.
We want to take the rotation of the face. So the face of these mesh here, we want it to affect the objects, right? So we take the output of our distribute points on faces, the rotation of that, and drag it into the rotation input of the instances.
Okay, so rotation to rotation. Rotation, okay.
And now you can see it's
like
having
pointing
some effect.
outwards.
It's still not right, but that is because these sprinkles are currently just pointed upwards. So it thinks, okay, well, you want to point them all outwards. Anyways, to fix that, I mean, you could fix it you could actually fix it in Geometry Nodes. This is simpler. So if we just rotate those sprinkles along the x-axis, so R, X, right?
Wait, hold on. Where are they? Like here? Oh. Try and zoom in on this. What the? Can't actually get in any closer in it because it was like, it goes right past. What the? Huh? Why is it? Also, why am I like a weird, like, circle thing? Move that down. There, I can't get any closer than that. Cause like one scroll up, one scroll down is like that far. Up. Okay.
Just rotate those sprinkles along the x-axis. So R, X, right?
R, X, okay. R, X. Do like that?
And then we just want to lie them down flat. So
lie down flat. R, X. There.
Essentially 90 degrees. You could type in 90 degrees or holding down Control will
at 90. Control. Wait, which? Huh?
Move it in 5-degree increments. Okay, so 90.
90 degrees, not negative. Can't even see when it's turned that way though. That's like way too small. Okay. R, X, a normal 90. No, 90 doesn't make it go straight up. Not what? I don't understand. Like not in the slightest. Why is it there? Well, it's laying down. I have to assume that's right.
And then do a single click. Okay, so why has that not worked? Well, it's because, as I mentioned before, when you're scaling or rotating things, it's not actually saved to the object. So to apply it, you have to go Control A and then say rotation.
Control A. Rotation. Okay, that pops up.
Now that we've done that, it's worked correctly.
Did it? Okay. Actually did. Good.
All right. So now you can see what I said by you need to do a lot to make it work correctly. The rotation is working, but it's not doing what you would expect, and that's
like
because
all
geometry
falling.
nodes are so flexible. You have to tell it exactly what you want to do.
All falling
We
straight
want
down.
actually random rotation. So around each of the points, we don't want to each have the exact same rotation. We need to randomize it.
Right.
So for that, if you want to tweak the rotation on anything between this point here, on this dotted blue line, let's just move that out of the way, we need to add Shift-A, Utilities, Rotation, Rotate, not Euler, Euler.
Okay, utilities, rotation, rotate Euler. Utilities? Huh? Wait. Why did you click for that?
On anything between this point here, on this dotted blue line, let's just move that out of the way, we need to add Shift-A.
Okay, a Shift A. A Shift A. Utilities, rotation, Euler.
Utilities.
There.
Yes, I know. They went with the weird pronunciation. I think it was a Frenchman, right? Could be German. Doesn't matter. Same, right? Just to annoy all the Europeans. Anyways, rotate Euler, and we're just going to drop it on that line till it lines up. Okay, so nothing's happened currently, but with this, we could change the rotation of our sprinkles up here. But you'll notice that as you rotate it, it's kind of weird. It's not the rotation that you would expect for each point. It's the relative to the actual object as a whole, right? Which just means we need to change from object to local. And
object to local. What? I don't even have that. Huh?
It's not
one?
Rotate, not Euler.
Oh, rotate Euler, not rotate to Euler. Okay. Delete. Shift A. Shift A. Wait, what?
Euler.
Rotation, rotate Euler. Rotation. Utilities, rotation. I don't have rotation Euler. What the heck? I have rotation to Euler. That's like... No, I don't have rotate Euler. What? Hold on. Blender. Yeah, rotate Euler missing. I know. A rotation might be what you want now. Okay, it's gonna make the tutorial even more complicated unless it's like just renamed. Random values. A rotation. Utilities. Rotation. That looks... Wait, what? It's in the... Hold on. I want to delete that, but I want to keep the... There we go. Shift A. Utilities, rotation. Rotation, so you can rotate while you rotate. I don't know. Let's see if that's right. Oh, still going. Cool.
Yes, I know. They went with the same, right? Just to annoy all the Europeans. Anyways, rotate Euler, and we're just going to drop it on that line till it lines up. Okay, so nothing's happened currently, but you'll notice that as you rotate it, it's kind of weird. It's not object as a whole,
object to local,
right? Which just means we need to change from object to local. And now, as you move it around, you can see we're able to rotate those sprinkles.
Let's see if that looks right. Okay. Good. Okay. Like a bunch of little bacteria on a donut when you use like a black light on it or something. Okay.
But again, it's not changing
like
the
doing-
like randomizing it. It's
Yeah,
giving
it's doing
a
it for
solid
everyone.
value. So to randomize it, if we drag out of the rotate by input and then type in
Drag out, rotate by a random value.
random, it'll bring up this, and we're looking for random value.
Right.
Click, and now we get this. Ooh. So this node looks kind of scary, right?
So is the end goal a box of a dozen donuts? I'm not gonna do that many. This is like the when I was trying to find like Blender tutorials, like this is the one that like popped up a lot. So I'm like doing like this run through, see if I can like figure any of it out. Then I'll have to like look for like I'll have to like look for like specific other tutorials, like specifically like the like how to move characters for pictures and stuff. Like all like the normal stuff that SFM already has like built in is what I'm trying to like figure out, you know. I'm like gonna do like the run through like this one first for like the year-old, possibly out-of-date basics and stuff. See if like anything can stick in my brain at all.
Right? It's got a whole bunch of different values in it, and it says
Right.
vector, and it's very, very foreign. It's actually easier to understand it from a float.
I changed that to float. Okay.
Point of view. With the random value, if it's in a float state, it's going to generate a value from 0 to 1 on each point. So
Right.
if you've got like 10 points, one of them is going to be like 0.015, one is going to be like 0.92, and one's, whatever. When it's in vector state, it's the exact same thing. You've got min and you've got max, but there are 3 values. And the reason for that is that there are 3 axes. There's the x-axis, there's the y-axis, and there's the z-axis.
Those axes have some
Same here,
powers.
right? So you're able to define what type of rotation on each axis.
Right.
So if we set both, and by the way, if you want to change multiple values at once in Blender, you can just click and drag down.
So you changed it back to the vector one.
And you can change values at once in Blender. You can just click and drag down, and then you can change all of them. So we set all of them to 0, and
Are they all on 0? 0, okay. Did that.
now you could see this bottom one is going to be the Z, because it's X, Y, Z. It doesn't tell you, like, I don't know, because it's vector math, I guess there's other areas of Blender, anyway. But this is the Z axis. If we increase this one, you can see that's the main one that we want to change, right?
Okay. It's spinning around. Speed of sound. Places to go.
Because that's the one that makes the most difference.
Right.
Now, you might also know, looking at this, you're probably thinking like, okay, well, we need to rotate it by 360 degrees, so we would set this to 360. But you can see they're more than rotating fully already. So what value is this exactly?
Speeds.
This is radians. Oh, just to get real. So radians, degrees. Actually, like I had to ask ChatGPT before I recorded this. What's the difference? Radians are more mathematical and easier for mathematical equations. It's the circumference of pi. No, 2 pi is the circumference.
Why are you talking about pi?
Obviously,
We're
I
doing
don't
donuts.
know. But what I'm trying to tell you is,
Try to confuse my
you just
bakery
need
mind.
double pi to make it 360 degrees, which is actually tau.
What?
To make it really complicated, it's tau.
How? What? Okay.
So double pi. So pi is 3.142. Tau is
3.14159.
double that. And anyways, you get
For
the
all
idea.
those
So you
Zach and Cody
can type
watchers
in
out there.
tau and it'll actually give you the correct value. So that's 360 degree rotation.
Okay.
We also want it because you can see this is the other axes, like the middle one spinning around. So we also want it on that one because we've got a curved one. So let's make that tau. And then
this one's tau as well. Tau pi pi.
this top one is the X, which is actually going to make it like wonky, like, so these will be like seesawing up. So if you increase that, that's where it gets crazy, and you don't really want to use that. You do want a little bit though, because it would make sense if they're sprinkles. They're not going to be completely flat. You're going to have some variance where like some bit has absorbed into the icing at a different angle than another, but just not
so 600 or so. Wait. 6. Okay. Wait, what? 0.6. Okay.
too much, essentially, or else it starts to look like little marshmallows or whatever all over it.
Or even not, or even less. Okay. To 5. Okay.
Guys, that's roughly it. That's the hard work. That was, I mean, I know that was very technical, but it was just 2 nodes.
Very
rotate
hard.
Euler, set it to local, and then this random value, and we're changing that to rotated. And we did it. We got nice looking rotation. Now, one thing we do have to change is...
Are you a pin again? Okay.
The distance min. So because these longer sprinkles obviously are bigger, then the distance min has to change as well. So we can change that to something that makes sense. Let's go 0.04.
All right. Wait, where? Which road did you turn that on?
Then the distance min. Now, one thing we do have to change is the distance min. Now, one thing we do have to change is the distance min. So because these longer sprinkles...
Okay. Selection. I don't see distance min.
Sprinkles,
just
obviously.
Just distance. So like
bigger, then the distance min has to change as well.
Like
so we can change that to something that makes sense. Let's go 0.04.
Okay. What? Huh? Wait, which way? 0.1. Oh, what? 2, 4, or do 3, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I think that's good.
That might have actually been pretty perfect. Let's try 3. 3's got a little bit. Oh, actually, you know what? The other thing, looking at reference, I like those big chunky looking sprinkles. So I want these to be bigger. So we could, alter the scale of the actual sprinkles.
I already had to do that.
But
so
we're working with geometry nodes, and we've actually got a scale value right here. So we could change it here just as easily. So the scale, dragging down, and again, there's not just one value. There's 3 axes, so X, Y, Z. So drag down on all. 1.5 is going to give us some nice, big, chunky looking sprinkles.
So
and now this distance value needs to be a lot bigger. So let's go 0.06. That's actually pretty good. I'm getting pretty good at nailing it. 0.0, no, I was right before. There's always going to be some overlap, right? You're not going to be able to stop it.
0. Let's try that. 0.5. That's too many. 2. Or do I want it higher? What? Uh, 3. 6. I go 5, 5. Okay, that works. That was like about where I was at anyway.
Because it's not doing object like
Don't want too
collisions.
many.
It's nothing like that. It's a very simple. Again, it's doing a point and then it's creating a radius around it.
Another single thing that has been very
if
simple.
you do the correct amount, which for this is probably something like this, then it looks way too predictable and boring, which we don't want. So 0.006 looks pretty good for me with a scale of 1.5 for these. And that is it. I was going to put in the random color in this part of the tutorial.
Hold on. Move this like a bit so it's like not as like far away. Oh, I could take out that one since it wasn't even there. Move this and this. That looks more like how it's shown on there. Looks. Wait, hold on. I have that one and a blue and a red. What's the blue one I have? Multiply? What? I know like some different thing they did. I don't remember that, but that looks right.
But I think we've gone over already. So join me in the next part and we will finally add some color to our sprinkles and make this look nice. So join me in the next part.
Part 8.
Yo, what's up, guys? Today we're watching the
not gonna
Lilo
spell it out.
and Stitch.
I'll watch that later. Alright, hold on. Once I finish doing this little load. Come on.
This is the part where
Okay, there we go. Alright. I gotta do a quick be right back. Just gotta use the restroom. Just be like a minute or so. So I'll be right back. You can use this time for a bathroom break yourself if you need to. Where's my... There it is. Alright, be right back. I'm back. Just getting back to my seat. Making sure my model is like actually tracking normally again. Hope you enjoyed the break. Like, while I'm getting like set up back up again, how's everyone doing today? I mean, I already checked in before, but like, do another check-in. Why not? Hope you've been having a good Thursday. Hope your window's good as well. And I don't know why, but like yesterday it looked I was not, for some reason, I'm not able to see a Green Robot stream anymore. I don't know what I did. Just got like very much by surprise when that like popped up and I was like just setting up to be ready for the zone out later. But I don't know. Like, your guess is as good as mine. I tried to email because I like the only option, but I doubt there's going to be a reply. Oh well. What can you do? Let's hope this next one's like not as complicated as the first lesson was. Or not like the first lesson of today, I should say. Hopefully it's a little easier just getting color working. Because I do have like colors in mind for this one, as well as like a little extra thing I want to try to do on it. To do like outside of the tutorials, like lesson stuff. If I can figure out like how to like add objects and do like specific like cutting out and like coloring stuff. It's like a little I'm not sure. I think like maybe like those rings, right? Like the ones like the it's like there's like Halloween, there's like the spider rings and like bat stuff like that, little froth and that, you know, the sort of things. I think like maybe that, or just like a little thing that goes on it. I'm not sure. I have to see if I can even figure out how to do the design in the first place. yeah, those little things. So you can tell like so it's like already like going like parts with the icing palette, so it'd be like matching that. It's like character related. Do like a little fine tuning for this specific version. Like you could guess, and you probably know, but like you can see if you can piece it together as I do like the colors for this part. In just a moment. It's like doing like I got a message about like something else, so I'm doing that while it's still on the be right back. Should just be a few seconds more. And we can continue learning together. Hopefully. If any of it's not just gonna stick, I have no idea. Okay. Here we go. Let me shift this back over to Blender. My model. My model? Why is it still off to the side like that? Let me close VNOM and start back up again. That's weird. Like, it's working normally when I was like doing the checking, like, and just to be right back. There we go. Okay. Weird. Okay. Let's get this.
This is the part where we
continued.
start making our donuts look sexy. So we're going to be coloring our sprinkles,
I know,
finally,
it's a Power
so it
Rangers
looks so
movie now.
depressing. And then also getting into rendering to start making this actually look pleasing with shadows and light and everything else. So first of all, the sprinkles. Now, as you probably know, you could come in here and you could select.
Oh, let me actually get those in view. He's on object mode. I am too, but there. What? Where is it? There. Uh, there. What was like the things like look at it on its view? There's like a blender look at the model? Target zoom. Focus. There's like some key for that, but I don't remember what it was. Number pad, no. Alright, so if I try to just like zoom on it, it's not gonna work normally. Or correctly, rather. It's not even doing anything, actually. The heck? Okay, there, weird. Yeah, I can't like, yeah, like any different move than that.
Select a sprinkle and then go, all right, I'm going to make a red sprinkle. And then I'm going to, don't do this by the way, I'm just showing you. Make this aqua sprinkle and then a blue sprinkle, right? And this does work. Does exactly what you would expect. The problem with this though, is that for one, the color is locked to that specific sprinkle. So this curved sprinkle is always red. Okay.
Gotcha.
And the short sprinkle is always white. The other issue is that this is not easy to change the distribution of those colors. Like if I'm an artist and I'm looking at this, I'm like that's kind of boring because all the colors is like 25% blue, 25% white, 25, you know.
Right.
I want to have maybe 80% one dominant color and then a few splashes of complementary colors. I can't do that.
Right.
So there is a much, much easier way. So first, let me just clear all of these. And I'm going to create one new material. I'm going to call it sprinkles. And I'll actually show you how to quickly apply the same material to
click on one. Edit. Wait, why do I not have that sidebar? He's on object mode. I'm on object mode. Why don't I have the bar? What the? Why is that? What? Face? Tab? Why is that gone? Blender right side menu missing. Shift space? No. Our easiest is to save and restart. Okay. Let me try that. Here. Okay, there it is. Weird. Wait, no, it's gone now. What the? Huh? Hold on. I can see it's there, but when I load into it, it's gone. Oh, there we go. Okay, it still has the random value stuff. Okay. Out of that mode. Layout. Move this. Sprinkles? Where are you? There they are. Somewhere. What the? Oh, if I already changed that size, maybe I can move that. Select sprinkles. All those. Scale. Why is it not scaling? What the? I don't understand this. Right there. Okay. And he clicked on that one, I think. There. Okay.
Call it sprinkle, just clear. So there is a much easier way. So first, let me just clear
So
all of
clicks
these,
on
and
one
I'm going
of
to create
them.
one new material. I'm going to call it sprinkles.
Click on one, add a material. I have modifier, not material. Where is he on? Which one?
Clear all of these, and I'm going to create one new material. I'm going to call
It's on this square. No. Where is the? I'm not plane. I'm for the cylinder. Why?
it the first. Let me just clear all of these, and I'm going to create one new material.
How is he doing that? On cylinder 3. And then object mode, I have on object mode. It's there on this cylinder. It says modifier, but I don't think that's what he's clicking.
I have maybe
don't think so, at
80%
least.
one dominant color, and then a much easier way. So first, let me just clear all of these, and
No, it's like a red circle. This world. See on world.
I'm going to create one new material. I'm going to call it sprinkles.
No, not scene. I want the a fish. Why is it what? Oh, it's doing scene world. I want to. Okay, there. Okay, weird.
And I'll actually show you how to quickly apply. I'm going to create one new material. I'm going to call
New
it
material, call it
sprinkles.
sprinkles.
And I'll actually show you.
Okay. New material. Sprinkles. Okay.
How to quickly apply the same material to multiple objects at the same time, because we haven't done that yet. So I'm going to grab my round sprinkle, which is currently still over there by itself. I'll just bring it over here so it's part of the family.
Okay. Round sprinkle. The there. Sort of, I can't really bring it any close unless I try like that. And that. Or no, I want what? The other line. No, over to here. Where'd it go? Drag it that way. Looks like it's near it. Okay, good. Zoom out 1. Deep C. No, why is it like clicking onto the thing? There we go. Okay. Let's
There we
move
go.
over.
All right, so I've got one object with the material that I want to apply them all to. What I need to do is shift select all the objects that I want to have that material, and then lastly shift select again the object that has the material I want to apply them to.
Okay. One has it. Oh, which one has it? Cylinder 4. Okay. 3. No, I want 2. Okay, clicked on that one last.
And you know that because it's highlighted yellow. Okay.
Highlighted yellow. Okay.
Then hit Control L. This brings up the link or transfer menu, and we want to link the materials.
Okay, Control L. Link materials. Okay.
And now you can see our material has a 5 next to it because 5 objects
Okay.
are sharing this material. And that's
All right.
it. And now, obviously, because they're linked, it means if I make a change over here, they're all going to
Okay, that's right.
be reflected. Great. Now, we're going to do something fancy. So let's
Something fancy. I'm not.
go to the
Let's send
Shading
that.
tab, which gives us access to our nodes. Oh, dear.
Shading. And everything's gone.
Yeah. Where have I? All right, let's go back. I'm trying to get to that sprinkle. Okay. To our nodes.
How am I going to find that? Here. That, nope. Went that way, then here. Drag that there, okay.
Now, I want to introduce you to a little friend called Shift A, input, the object info node.
Okay, Shift A, object info. Shift A. Huh? I don't have that.
Alt, Shift A, input, the object
Shift A,
to a
input.
little friend.
Okay. Shift A, input. What?
And called Shift A, input, the object.
Okay, object info. Object info. Okay. Got that.
Info node. A very weird little node that just does some useful things when you might need it. So you see it pop up in a few tutorials. There's a bunch of stuff here that it can do. The most useful one for us in this instance is the random input. Drop that into your base color and let's
Drop random to base. Okay. Random to base. Did that. Alright, I think he has it.
see what
There.
happens. So we've got some gray values, and it's easier to see actually when you look at.
Let me. Okay, yeah, I see it there.
The donuts. So what this has done is it has assigned a value, a random value for each individual sprinkle between 0 and 1.
Right.
So because that's then being transferred to color information, it means that, for example, this sprinkle might have got a value of like 0.023,
Okay.
right? And the robot spat that out. And then this
Right.
one, this whitish looking one, maybe this was
0.9 or-
0.89 or something like that.
Right.
Okay, so it's just transferred those values into color information, which is just blacks to whites. Not very useful right now, but we can use that, those numbers in a, I'll just show you. Okay, Shift A, we're going to go converter color ramp. Probably, I mean, I might have used this node more than any other node in Blender before. It's like,
Wait, Shift A converter color ramp. Color ramp, and like put that there. It look like.
so versatile, used for so many things. So drop it in here between the object info and the principled.
Okay.
And currently it is exactly the same because it's just it's transferring that data into a gradient value of the exact same shades.
Right.
But we can change this to any color that we want. And look at that. So you can
There. Right, but I want to do specific colors.
very quickly see this is
Also, how do
a
you do the
gradient
other
value
stuff?
of the exact same shades. But we can change this
Move that.
to any color that we want. And look at that. So you can very quickly
Wait, hold on. How do you do it for the other side? Move that there. And what did he do? What?
transferring that data into a gradient value of the exact same shades. But we
On
can
the black
change
one,
this
right? Move that all the way up. Move
to
that
any
there.
color that we want.
Okay, he did
Shades.
something else there. What the
But we
heck?
can change this to any color that we want.
Looking something for the position to 1. And then that what? Okay.
And look at that. So you can very quickly see this is exactly how we're going to create sprinkles of different colors.
Wait,
Look
what?
at
How do you
that.
do that other part?
So you can very quickly see this is exactly how we're going to create
Like, how's he making those third ones?
sprinkles of different colors.
But
Now,
when I-
one thing you'll note looking at this is
I
that
want a
every single
specific
sprinkle
set
is
of
a
colors.
different shade. Like no two sprinkles have the same color right now because this is a gradient. And that's not how it works in the real world because the sprinkles come out of, one constant icing bag, right? Or a machine with the same food dye. So basically all the blue ones would have the exact shade of blue and all the orange ones would have the exact shade of orange. So we need to change this from linear to constant.
Okay. Linear to constant. That's all red.
And now if I slide this across, look at that.
Slide it. There's a bit of a turf war going on. Okay. Can't really see it without like messing up like the viewpoint there.
We are influencing what percentage now is orange or blue. And this is really cool because it means you get to work like an artist and just create a really nice, appealing looking donut very, very quickly. So I'm going to go with like a light blue over here. And then I'm going to create a new color just by hitting the plus button. And then let's give this a purple like that.
Okay, new color with the plus. Other than that, that goes green. But why is that not? Okay. I like that. Okay.
And I'll make this one pink actually, same shade as our donut, why not? You'll note by the way that I'm not going like full saturation, and that's deliberate because you learn in art that, yeah, like saturation.
Do I have full saturation? Or do I have no saturation? What? Oh, hold on, it's like on the color menu. Oh, so it's not like all the way over there. Okay.
And color is quite aggressive. It's quite noisy and quite attention grabbing. And so if you use too much of it, it can be exhausting. So I tend to keep it at like 0.8. Okay, and then I'll also go over here and I'm going to make this white. Let's go. Oh, whoop. No, not like that.
Just do another plus for another color. I'm going to do white just as the example. That sort of thing. Okay. I mean, obviously, I'll adjust it like other ones later, but when we get to like
White,
this part,
and
so
I'm going to create another one next to it. And this one I'm going to make yellow.
The reference
Okay.
image thing.
So just by sliding this around, I could say like less white, more yellow, more white. And then I can go, yeah, more blue. It's just a really simple, easy way to create the exact look you're going for. Awesome. Now, something, you don't have to do this next part, but it's so easy. Why not? I was looking on Pinterest on like aesthetically pleasing donuts, like trying to make this look really cool. And I saw like metallic sprinkles, and I was like, that's an interesting idea. What if I made these white and yellow ones metallic, and then they would look silver and gold? So there is a slider in your principled BSDF. Technical name that just means it's the shader that does everything. And it's the metallic shader. Look at that. So if I slide this all the way to 1,
right,
all my sprinkles are now metallic.
Hold on. What? They have to like, dang it. I'll have to move that to be able to see any actual change. Wait, what? Wait, that's not working right at all. There's all like, what? Even like my sprinkles are all circular metallic. Wait, why is it? No, that's wrong. Right on that one, but wrong on this. It's like, it's not like going to separate ones at all. It's like overlapping on the different versions. What? Why is it doing that? Blender sprinkles color clipping, is that the right word for it? The edit mode. No, that's not it. No, it's like inside of it. It's not the. No, it's like. Oh, his is all separate. Mine aren't. Mine aren't. Why is that? That one. No, that's like messing into it too. Hold on. Oh, that's like already there. All right, hold on. Let me rewind.
So we've got some gray values.
And principal BSDF. I have that there. Random going to base color. And it's already like messed up at that point. What the heck? Why is it already messed up immediately? I do not understand this. I'm gonna do that just for. No, it like loses it immediately. Why is it doing this? Hold on, let me turn it off so I could do search easier. I'd say Blender color meshing, I suppose. No, that's not. Sprinkles error. Modeling icing and error. No, that one's still separate. I don't care about the submergent icing part, that's fine. But I want to fix how it's like all weird like this. I do not know what I did. It's like making it do that. Well, let me ask my friend why it's doing this. And I'm probably asleep, so I'm not expecting a reply, unfortunately. What the heck?
And it's easier to see actually when you look at the donuts. So what this is not very useful right now, but we can use that. We're going to go converter color ramp.
Okay, convert color ramp. Do that part again. Converter color ramp right there. Now let me get the image so I can try and do the colors I was wanting to do. Save that. I save this like image so I can just open it on my own side. Save image as PNG, not WebP. Still never understand why the heck they made that. It's always an annoyance when it pops up. Could do that, good. Turn that part back on.
Probably, I mean, I might have used this node more than any between the object info and the, but we can look at that. So you can very quickly see this is exact.
Okay, so one color. So for that first one, make it a nice, try to get the shade of blue. There's like 3 primary colors. All right, white, black, and blue. Pretty easy. I already got the black one, so I don't really need to change that. White, just like pure white, good. And then blue. Lighter blue. Like this. And then do like that. The, I don't know, constant. Black and blue. Let's see, on the image, there's like a pretty even mix, honestly. Alright, white, black, and blue. Turn that a little lighter for there. A little more blue. There. Just the black one. Oh, it's already out like as strong as it can be. Okay.
Exactly how we're going to create
That's how it'd
it
be
now.
those
Schools come out
3.
of, you know, one constant with so orange or
one
blue, and
constant,
this
that
is really
part.
cool. They're trying to make this look really cool.
Alright, so
And
metallic.
these white and yellow ones metallic, and then they would look
like, do
silver
that for-
and gold. So there is a slider in your principled BSDF,
Like all steely,
technical
which I might
name that
do.
just means it's the shader that does everything, and it's the metallic shader. Look at that. So if I slide this all the way to 1, all my sprinkles are now metallic, and if I slide it all the way to 0, then they are non-metallic. And that's actually how you should use this slider. All materials in the real world are either non-metallic, also known as dielectric materials, so that would be most of the sprinkles, and then some objects are metallic, entirely metallic. There are technically a few rare materials on Earth that have some blend between it, but as a rule, you should not have a value that is between 0 and 1. It should be either 0 or 1.
Right. Not 1 sec. Discord application. I don't want to run Discord. Like a Patreon, I wanted to like an auto join thing. Not trying to do. All right, let me go back to this.
Anyways, so what we can do with this, because we've got this color ramp information here, is I can actually just convert, like I can make a color ramp that is just black and white that just shows which sprinkle is metallic and which one isn't. So
right.
If I duplicate this, and here's a pro tip, if you use Control-Shift-D, it will duplicate it, but it will retain its connection. So it just saves you, I don't know, 1 second. And now I'm going to connect that into my metallic input. Now currently this is wrong because this information is, it's just using, it's like color. So we need to be black and white. So this one here, because this is going to represent my dielectric colors, I'm going to set this to black. So it is non-metal. And then this I can delete, and this I can delete, because on the left-hand side of it, it's all black. Sorry, so it's all non-metals. And then over here, these two, the silver and the gold, they're going to be metal. So actually I can delete the gold, and now that's doing exactly what it should. So we've now got dielectric, non-metals, and metals.
All right, hold on. Control Shift D. Move that there. Move the color line? Yeah, okay. The color line to the metallic over there. Take out the blue. Or what? There we go. All right, how did he remove it?
The silver and the gold, they're going to be metals. I'm going to set this to black, so it is non-metal. And then this I can delete. So we need to be black and white.
That just deletes, okay. The black and white. And then wait, that's not.
So this one here, because this is action, so it just saves you, I don't know, 1 second. And now I'm going to connect that into my
I have metallic at full first. Metallic at full first, okay. All right, then do that. -1 for there. Even mix of like white and that, so leaving the blue separate. All that, okay.
Metallic input. Now currently this is wrong, because so this one here is left-hand side of it, it's all black. And the gold, they're going to be metal, so actually dielectric, non-metals, and metals. And the reason it doesn't look like metal, by the way, is because your roughness is here. So if you set it all the way down, you can see it starts to look.
Let me do the roughness. Like all shiny. That's down a little bit. Probably not all the way, I'm guessing.
A lot closer to a metallic sprinkle. And by the way,
maybe a little bit less, okay. Actually looks a bit odd if I do it like that much. That works.
You can get the exact like position. You can go like 0.7 and then here 0.7, type it in, and then that way it's definitely correct. For whatever reason of mine, this has to be a bug. There's something weird about it. But there's one sprinkle on my donuts, probably not on yours, but it's like, it's purple up here, but then it crept over into the metallic category down here, which shouldn't be possible. Yeah. But evidently it's just on my donut. I've never seen it before, but one of them has actually snuck over. Doesn't matter. It's it can be the rare purple metallic one.
I have the world's only 24-karat purple Labubu sprinkle.
Right. But I don't want these other ones to be shiny, at least that shiny. So I'm going to again duplicate this, Control-Shift-D. And with this, if I plug this into my roughness input, just like before, these black and white values will decide what is the roughness of the metallic and non-metallics. So this one here, I want this to be essentially...
Again, duplicate, okay. Control Shift D. Move that to the roughness.
The opposite of what it
Right.
is. Almost entirely black. A little bit, so there's a little bit of roughness to it, like that. And then this one over here, I want this to be a lot more diffuse. Not entirely diffuse, a little bit to be roughness of the input. Just like before, these black and white values will decide what is the roughness of the metallic and non-metallics. So this one here, I want this to be essentially the opposite of what it is. Almost entirely black.
And so change the white to black.
A little bit, so there's a little bit of roughness to it, like that. And then this one over here, I want this to be a lot more diffuse.
Okay. I don't know what that actually does for this. We'll just see how it is. I know, but then the blue's getting it. Or it's just like part of the black.
Not entirely diffuse, like somewhat of a blend, because if you look at reference, which you should be modeling.
A value at like 3. A little less. Okay.
Off reference, there is some shininess to them. So, yeah, but that is it. So you can see very quickly we have created some very aesthetically pleasing donuts, and have fun with it, guys.
Hold on. Let me try and like maybe I can go over to the, where is it? The sprinkles there. Move that one a little bit. That's the white. Just that a bit. Or I'll scale that one a bit. I know I don't want there. No, the metal is like making it lose like the actual like white appearance of it. At least on this. Hold on, let me try and like put this in like a Blender Discord something. 1 second. There. And there. So at least I try and fix it later. Potentially. Give me a second. Let me do that so I can go to Google search. Let's see. A Blender Discord. Accept. Blah, customize stuff, whatever. Receive help, yes. There. See if there's like a basic ask or like help part of it. Help general. Where would that be? Alright, here we go. Trying to... hold on. You need some more water. Also, my model stop? No, it's still moving. Okay. Trying to do the donut tutorial. Why are my sprinkles doing this? And I get those two images. Copy there. And this there. Weird color meshing thing. Okay. Let's show you how. Let's have that to search like fix. I don't know like how much further this goes with like. I don't want to go like too far into that if it's like a weird error here, you know. I'm gonna turn the tutorial page back on.
It's like create a cool looking donut. You can use whatever color combinations you want. I really do like it when people experiment and not just seeing things. So try's really cool. But that's almost it for our donut. It's pretty well done, which means we can now finally talk about rendering. So as a recap of part 1, if you hit F12, that's going to put you into the rendered state.
F12. All right, hold on. How do you get out of that mode?
And because if you look at reference, which you should be modeling off reference, there is some shininess to them. So yeah, but that is it. So you can see very
left click on view layout. Okay. F12. Does not show anything. Where's my camera? What? All the way over there? What? Alright, hold on. Why is the camera up there? What about the light? Like all there? What is going on? And why is it not letting me select object mode? Layout? What? I select everything. No, not delete. No, dang it. Hold on. Now the plane is that. Left there. Why did that not pick the donut? It's in the... Why is it not moving that? What the heck? There. What? Hold on. From there to here, that should be everything. Let's scale that down and like get it there. F12. Not showing anything. How do I look through the camera's view? Wonder, look through camera. Is it C? No. Number pad 0. No, that does nothing. Hold on, get out of object mode. View mode. Or no, I want it on object mode? What the? Wait, what is that doing? Oh, that's like... Wait, that's super small. Those are like too small to move. And where's the camera? Data? No. I like the light's over like that way, it looks like. Where is it? I do not see the... I don't see the camera. I don't see the light. Where is it? Blender can't find camera. User... What? I am confused. There's the light's going from there, so like should be that way somewhere. Over... No? Hold on. I am very confused here. I make everything bigger or make it smaller? Where's the... It's already seeming like super small. Makes that bigger, then where's the camera? F12? I don't see anything. Where the heck? The camera's not hidden. Right click the camera object, active camera. I don't see that. Align it to current view. Control Alt number pad 0. Hold on. Control Alt 0. What? And then F12? No, then it's not showing anything. What the heck? I think I see the camera. It's over there? Is that the camera? Why is it so small? Why? F12? What is going on? I am very confused. Why is it like so small? Like I can't zoom like any further than this. That means like everything's like super tiny. How do I fix that? Render everything to small. Subdivision. The end panel dimensions. What? N? rotation, control. No, I want select everything. No, not select circle. Move items, rotate, scale. I want select everything of scale. It's not. Not the plane. Everything. S. Oh, what? Let's move it up. Oh, what? No, why is it? You know, this isn't showing anything. What the heck? And I can't zoom, like, back further, like, completely goes away. Like, the camera's here. Move it down? Does it do anything? F12. Okay, that shows it a bit. So then are these too big? The sprinkles into donuts in the plane? Because it was like already like really small before. F12. Oh, what? Can I make a... What? No, why is it... What the heck is going on here? I do not understand this at all. Like, why is it like so off from the thing? I am very confused and just like adding to a headache. Why is it so small? I might have like just like send a file to a friend, see if they can like fix the scale or something. I don't know. Cause I have no idea. Give me a second. I mean, it's like I could try and continue that, but it's like going into the shots and it doesn't even like show up. So it's like, how am I gonna continuously tutorial like that? Oh, a wrong tab. There.
Quickly, we have created some very aesthetically pleasing recap of part one. If you
Well,
hit
see what he says
F12,
next,
that's going to
but-
put you into the rendered state. Our camera is really far away from the donut. So actually, let's first fix that. If you go to your camera view, you can just by clicking that little icon there.
A little icon. Oops. There. Okay, I'm in the little icon.
Or by hitting number pad 0, that'll take you there as well. This is the camera view. We're really far away. I mentioned in the start that if you use this key, this button, view, lock, camera to view, that'll let you like grab it and move it around. But there is actually another way. I didn't want to introduce you to too many keyboard shortcuts at the start. But if you hit with the camera selected, Shift tilde key, that will put you in fly mode.
Shift tilde. I don't know, why is it like... I like that part like blackened.
The other way to do that, by the way, is to just go view, navigation, fly navigation there if you don't have that key. So anyway, in this mode, it's almost like you're playing a video game. So like it's just, I'm playing a first person shooter looking around my scene. W is move forward, just like in a video game.
W. Shift tilde. Going like very slow. So you like shift her a little faster. Okay, so I zoomed in there.
A is strafe left, D is strafe right.
Shift tilde. Right, so you like move around like a little more like SFM, so that's a good thing.
And S is back. So WASD, just like a video game. I can also go up by hitting E and then down by hitting Q.
Up by E, down by Q. E, okay. Interesting.
And if it's too sensitive, like if the movement is like, you know, crazy fast, the scroll wheel also decides how far, oh goodness, there it is. Okay. How fast the movement is. So scroll
Scroll wheel. Okay. Good. A little faster than that. There's like more SFM speeds. That makes sense.
down if it's going too quickly for you. But yeah, I can now place the camera wherever it is I want. And then when it's there, I just click single left.
Because so with that, I think it's like just like everything's too big then. But the plane and all this scale that way. And then the tilde. Like that, but that's just gonna show like that little inside part, and that's not right.
Click and that's there. And by the way, that mode is called fly navigation, and it works also not just from the camera view, but anywhere in Blender. If you ever want to just like, you know, move around, you can do use that fly mode. So shift tilde key for that. All right, so we do a render, we get something that looks hideous. Why is that? Well, for starters, it's not a very the scene has just got one light in it. But the primary reason, and by the way, yes, that's the rendered view mode, but also if you go to rendered view shading up there, this is
render view shading. I'll get out of the camera mode. Now, where's the light? Where is it? It's like way over there? Why's the light so far? And it's like there. I think everything is just like too big somehow. There. That. And where's the light? That's there. C does it that way. And then C there. There. Sort of, that's like I can't zoom in like any more than that. Like move that closer, I suppose.
Is the exact replica of that, but just in the viewport, okay? Now, the primary reason this looks bad is because of the renderer, okay? So Blender's default render engine, if you go to your render properties,
Render properties. Come on, render properties.
Is called Eevee. Now, Eevee is
Eevee,
fast,
good
but it is
Pokemon.
not accurate. If you are familiar with games, most of you probably are, Eevee is basically a game engine. So it's designed to be really fast. Probably not
Eevee's a
60 frames
Pokemon.
per second, but really, really fast. And it's in terms of the renderer types, there's usually actually, you call them like real time is what this type is. And that is a rasterized render engine.
Right.
And then you have ray traced or path traced engines, sometimes called offline renderers, which are a lot more accurate but much slower. So this is good if you don't really care about realism. Like maybe you're making a title effect for a TV, thing, whatever, or you're on a really tight deadline, you just want to get something out fast, you can use Eevee. And you can make it look better than what we have. Like for example, I think because we're using like really small sizes for our donut, you want to increase your cube size and then your lamp. Now you can make it look better than what we have. Like for example, I think
Scroll down to shadows. I have shadows. What? Shadows cube size? I don't have that. I have like normal shadows, advanced light threshold. That's not. Huh? Under curves. I don't have that. What the heck?
Because we're using like really small sizes for our donut, you want to increase your cube size and then your lamp, the bias. There you go. You set that all the way to 0.
Shadow bias? I don't have that. What the heck? Lamping? What? Alright, the tutorial being out of date does not help me any.
0. Example, I think you can use Eevee. Now you can make it look better than what we have. Like for example, I think
Hold on, shadows. Blender shadows gone. No, shadows cube size. Cascade. And there's like updated, so it's not even accurate. What the? Cube size? Like probe. What?
Because we're using like really small sizes for our donut, you want to increase your cube size and then your lamp, the bias. There you go. You set that all the way to 0, and now it's more appropriate.
Maybe if I try searching for it. Bias, ray tracing, no. Shadow. Volume chop, no. What the heck?
For this size. We've got shadows, but it's still not great. We don't, for example, have shadows on any of our sprinkles because it's just too fine a detail. And the shadow itself, it's just like a blurry mess. So it's just a fakery. And it's just like what's going on with video games. I will briefly mention also that Blender 4.1, which is what this is here, it's in alpha state at the time of this recording. I've been using 4.0 for this whole recording, but this is 4.1, and it's Eevee, but it's completely rewritten, and it is better, right? So the shadows are better. There is actually even some bounce lighting happening, but it's kind of like a fake bounce. So it's Eevee 4.0 for this whole recording, but this is 4.1, and it's Eevee, but it's completely rewritten. And it is better, right? So the shadows are better. There is actually even some bounce lighting happening, but it's kind of like a fake bounce lighting. And it's definitely better, but it's still not great. So that is the limitation. It's fast, but it is not great. And that's what you get with rasterized real-time engines. So there is another render engine. So go to your render engine settings and click the drop down. Ignore Workbench. That's for like just like basically rendering your viewport, really, for technical stuff.
Okay.
Cycles.
Cycles. EV cycles. Okay.
So those are the two main engines of Blender. You got Cycles and you've got EV. Cycles is what's known as an offline renderer, or a path traced, also known as ray traced engine. Now, this looks way better than what.
Let me. Ugh. Yeah, it's like still too small, so it's like not even able to zoom. It's like all weird, staticky. Like, you think that's better?
What we had before. You'll notice, for example, that all of our sprinkles have shadows. By the way, apologies if my recording gets a little choppy. It's because it's using the CPU to... Anyway, you can see it's got proper shadows on things. There's actually bounce lighting, right? There's like...
Bounce lighting? Okay, it's like sort of different, sure.
Coming off this this table here, and it's going underneath the donut. So it's like it's shooting around inside here, and it's shooting back, and it's going over here, which is exactly what happens in the real world, and it's really important for realism to get that bounce. I mean, any room, any architecture, you basically have to use cycles to do it, because that's how you get proper lighting like in the real world. But you get all this for free at the cost of speed. So you'll notice as I move around, whilst my recording goes
like
choppy, that it
sure.
starts grainy and then it kind of refines itself. And if you look in the top left-hand corner, you've got something that says samples. So as you leave it rendering longer, it's rendering more samples. Essentially, it's just like the computer's just chewing through it. That's, I mean, there's technical ways to explain it, but that's the simplest way to think of it.
What the heck?
And it'll get clearer as the longer you leave it. Now, there is actually two ways to calculate this. One is to use your CPU, which is what it's on by default. Another is to use your GPU, which is grayed out by default. So let's fix that. Go to Edit Preferences, and then go to System. And
Edit System, GPU. I already grayed out by default. And preferences.
you can see at the top there, Cycles, Render Devices. So try switching to one of these. And there's actually two ways to calculate this. One is to use your CPU, which is what it's on by default. Another is to use your GPU, which is grayed out by default. So let's fix that. Go to Edit Preferences, and then go to System. And you can see at the top there, Cycles, Render Devices. So try switching to one of these tabs and see what you get. If you...
hold on. Edit System. 4060. And I'm going to click on both?
If you have a device, like myself, that is a GPU that is supported, then you can render on that and it'll be way faster. So just as an FYI, CUDA is NVIDIA, and it's for like cards, like I think 1080 backwards, so like 90s, 800s, I think they used CUDA. Optics was around the 2000 series. Further on. So optics is the one that you use if you're using a NVIDIA card today. HIP is for AMD cards, and then you got one API. And I think actually on Apple devices, you'll have a metal option. But see what you have, and then see if you can render with that, because that, with GPU on now, it'll, going back to this, it might actually, the first time you use your GPU, it will say, I think at the top left-hand corner, doing this for the first time, it'll do some pass.
Let me try. I couldn't have those. That's still. I don't like. Does it really like slow? Was that like messing up the stream any, or maybe not?
It'll be really slow. It might take like 2 minutes, but then after you've done that, every time you open Blender, you should never need to do it again. So it might be slow the first time you activate it, but it should be faster. Now, this is way faster than what we had before. Like you can see how quickly it's clearing through those samples. It's basically real time. It's in fact, actually, so that noise that I mentioned, right? It's still there, but when you render and also in your viewport, you can use a denoiser. So it's
do I have that selected, or that denoise off? Doing slowish for that. Okay.
It's actually not that new. It's like 3-4 years old. I think we started using AI denoisers. NVIDIA released their one for optics, and since then Intel have come out with one. And it basically takes that noisy image, it uses some of the information from the 3D renderer to clear it out whilst preserving the detail. So if you can actually turn it on in the viewport by hitting the denoise one. If you've got an NVIDIA card, it'll be way better. If you don't, it'll have to use the Intel denoiser, which is a lot slower.
Hold on, let me see if that's selected. Alright, hold on, what?
Got an NVIDIA card, it'll be way better. If you don't, it'll have to use the Intel denoiser, which is a lot slower. But you can see the noise is practically gone, right? So this is almost real time, which is really, really cool. Now, obviously, not all of you are as lucky, right? I've got 4 3090s. I started though on a Pentium 3, I think back in 2003. And I mean, look, they made a Toy Story on computers that you couldn't even sell today because they would be just garbage. Maybe you could for like nostalgic. Anyways, the point is that everybody, when they start 3D, is using a device which is crappy. Don't let it limit you, or don't think, oh, I can't use 3D until I get a better computer. A graphics card is definitely one of the best investments you can make if you're thinking like, I want to do this as a career. This is definitely for me. I'm really enjoying this. It's definitely a good investment because you will be able to produce more renders throughout the day faster. But it is not essential. You can get by with just a CPU. It just means that when you do your render, your final render, instead of it being, you know, done in an hour, you might have to leave it overnight. In the past, when I started with Blender, I was making crappy renders at like 600 by 400 resolution, and I was rendering for over a week just to do a really crappy basic animation. So don't let it hinder you. It's totally normal that you'll have a bad computer. If it's for you in the future, definitely worth investing in a card that is fast. Also, if you want to know which card to buy, Blender actually put together an open. It shows pretty nice, just crush it at the top. Right, so we're going to be using cycles for the rest of this tutorial. And we'll really dive into it in the next part, but I just want to quickly, my lamp is way, way away. So let's just bring that in closer just so that we can see things. And you can actually clear the rotation of an object to make it appear at the center of your 3D scene by tapping Alt-G. Okay, so now, hey, look.
Alt-G, hold on. Alt-G. Alt-G, I don't think that actually...
Center of your 3D scene by tapping Alt-G. Okay, so now, hey, look, that's actually kind of cool. I'm going to move my...
I did that, but it didn't do anything. Also, that's weird. Alt-G. No. Alt-G doesn't do anything. Oh, there we go. I just like did the moving thing again. Okay. Like move that up. Okay.
Lamp over to here. Just check my recordings. Yeah, my recording's not being affected. And I'll just now reduce the strength of this because it's obviously now way closer. But look at that. Like, look at the shadow that we get coming off this donut, It's like properly tapered. It's not like some fakery, so it's like tight here and then it's like really faded at the end there.
Right.
That kind of stuff is really difficult to do with a rasterized real-time engine like Eevee. And you also get like all of this proper, like look at the shadows on the sprinkle.
Oh, let me look at that. They don't have like some shadows. Okay.
The reflections is actually true. It's not like guessing
Right.
and fakery. Yes, it's a type
It
of
says fakery a
fakery,
lot.
but it's much more accurate.
Wonder why.
Anyways, I like cycles. I'm a cycles guy. I think most people actually are. The first version of Eevee was not that great. Eevee Next in 4.1 might be better. We'll see. But yeah, the first version of Eevee was not really that great. Now, one thing you might notice looking at your donut, and they're going to make one big tweak to this, is that it kind of feels hard. Like the donut doesn't give this kind of like soft feeling to it. And the reason for that is the material. So by default, all materials are, kind of like hard materials, but fleshy objects like humans as well as
Fleshy
food
things like
have
donuts?
subsurface scattering. So I'll throw some reference photos here. But you can see this is my hand. I had light coming in like as I was eating breakfast, and I could see the light is actually going through my fingers, right? So that's light that is it's a mushy, fleshy object, so it's passing through it, scattering amongst all the other atoms in the finger, and it's the light is going through to the other side. You also see it in a lot of food. So took these photos at a party. Yes, I am that guy. But you can see that's how you get light that goes to the opposite sides. My daughter was eating a banana, and I was like, look at that banana. Look at that subsurface scattering right there. So donuts and icing have that, and we can do that. We can add that, by going to the materials.
Tap materials, okay. Materials.
And then down here, you've got subsurface.
Subsurface. Okay.
Okay. So here, the biggest one to turn it on, and just like metallic, apparently, this is, by the way, a new setup for 4.0, but just like metallic, it's supposed to be a weight of either 0 or 1. All right. Now, when you do 1, it suddenly turned blue, and you're like, what the?
Blue? Turn blue.
Hell happened there? That's because the radius, this radius, is this is your X, Y, Z, but also it's your R, G, and your B in this case. And these values are different because it's designed for skin by default. So this is a great setup if you've got skin with blood inside, but we don't. So click, drag down, and then just set these values to 1.
Click, drag down. 1. Okay.
All right, so now it's closer to the material. Still looks weird, and that's because the scale of this is wrong. It's saying that the thickness of the object is 5 centimeters, but this icing is not that. So let's make this 0.01, and now
0.01. Uh, 0.01.
now you can see it looks a lot closer. It's still a little dark because I think it's not 1 centimeter thick. So let's go 0.005, and now we can see it's pretty close to its
0.005. 0.005. Okay, that's making it darker. Another 0. Where do that? Whoop, Matt correct. Okay.
original material. The biggest difference is if I just zoom right in here, let's set it to what it was before. See how it's hard? It almost
Weight 0. I don't see how it's hard. Yeah, I don't see what he means at all.
Feels like it just feels like concrete, right? But then you set this to 1, and look at that. The shadow just starts to feel a little softer.
Look at the shadow. They're all like too small to really see. There. Is it slightly softer with the weight off, I guess?
And you get this bleed effect where kind of like the shadow gets like an edge to the shadow where it gets a little more saturated and pinker. And that's subsurface scattering. You don't have to tell it how to do that. It just does it. So you set the weight to 1, these to 1, and then you just say...
They have it to 1, but that's like what made it harder.
Your scale to whatever it is you want. And I'm also going to do it for my sprinkles. So I'm just going to click on one of my sprinkles. And for my sprinkles. So I'm just going to click on one of my sprinkles. And
sprinkles. I clicked on that.
Yeah, right in here. For the subsurface, I'll just do the same thing. Set the weight as 1.
Subsurface weight to 1. I see no difference whatsoever. What is it even on? Yeah, I see no real change at all.
These radiuses to 1, and then I'll use a really low value here. Like, let's go 0.02.
Lower that even smaller. Point. See what I did. Something. I don't know.
Now you can see, because these sprinkles are, yeah, it's like icing, right? It's just the exact same thing. Yeah, we want some of the light to pass through it. And we don't actually have to bother setting up that, that color ramp system for the metal, because metals, automatically that shader, when you set it to 1, it means it's going to cancel any subsurface scattering that would have appeared there. So we don't have to bother with it. The subsurface is not going to happen on metals. But you can see it starts to feel a lot softer, a lot, I don't know, more pleasing, more delicious looking, like real food, because that's really one of the telltale signs of food is subsurface scattering. Awesome. So in the next part, we're going to start really building out the scene. What I want to do, though, at the end of this video, I want to give you some homework, and that is to try to model this plate. Now, we're going to do it actually in the next part, but it's simple enough, and it's actually possible to use all the tools that I've mentioned in this this series so far to model this yourself. Now, the reason I'm trying to give this as homework is that once this tutorial finishes, that's how it's going to be. You're going to have to try to solve problems on the fly. So it definitely helps solidify learning if you can try to apply it by yourself. So have a go. It doesn't matter if you get stuck or you fail at it terribly, because you can just click the next part and see how it's done. But have a go at it now, because then you'll start to, you'll just retain the information a lot better. Anyways, go ahead, click here and see how we build the rest of the scene and build that plate.
Let me put that on save later, or watch later. Save. Now, how do I get out of this mode? There. Oh, it's actually... So I don't know what is up with the weird... Whoops. I don't know why the sprinkles are doing that. I don't know why the scale is all weird. They're all like super small for some reason. All the cameras and stuff was like moved out of the way. I have no idea. There. I think I'll send a blend file to my friend, see if he can figure out how exactly I messed this up. Let me shift that over. Alright. Let's see, it's almost 9:20, so it's about time for me to get a dinner going. I hope you all enjoyed this stream. It was like definitely a lot of headaches trying to do that. And so that bodes not well for when it gets to the actual character posing part, which is like the entire reason I'm trying to do this to begin with, you know? So I am worried about that. Fun chill stream. Nice. Well, I'm glad. I was able to be like at least enjoyable while I'm having the headaches. So yeah, so I will I'll send that file to my friend, see if he can like help me figure out like what weird things I got going on there, try to like fix that. So the next stream will be Saturday from like 6 p.m. 9 p.m. That'll be more of a Blightbound, going back to like more like story stuff in there, get some good stuff done. And then also I'll see some of you tomorrow on Friday, just hanging out on the Zone stream if you watch those. I know you do, Delta. I'll be doing more work on the SFM picture I was working on, like after the initial talking stuff is done, like the game starts. That's usually when I actively watch when it's like the talking section, when it's the games and stuff. Then I like go eat my food and like watch dinner, or eat my food and watch the dinner show, and then like do games or whatever. But I have to like try and finish that like the full August picture before it's no longer August. So I'll be doing like a work on that. Try to get looking nice. We'll have one less character in it now for some reason. I don't know why the green robot doesn't want me watching her streams. I don't know. Like I have no idea. Oh well. I mean, there'll just be 3 characters there. Alright. Let's see, who is news tomorrow? Nice. Yeah, I'll see you then. Let's see, who is live? Let's finish her stream. He is doing art stuff, I think, or is she finishing up? Maybe? I don't want to go to like challenge like right ending. Well, let me do the raid browser check like who's doing art. Let's see. Hold on. Raid browser. There we go. Search and filter. Category. Pumpkin, I think I remember them. Or they might have their mic off? That sounds like it. Okay, let's see. Looking for one that looks good. Like either the VTuber or the art they are making. This one maybe. I don't know if they have their mic on. No. Okay. Dang it. Why does everybody have their mic off? I don't understand. Let's see. No, they're closing their stream. Dang it. I'm gonna find someone. I don't end streams without like raiding someone. That's proper common courtesy to do a raid. That's what I feel. I don't know. Okay, no, looks like she's doing art. Okay. I think she actually still is going. I'm not sure. Alright, we can go. Alright. Just making sure she has it open. She does. Okay. She'll be going on over to... We'll be going on over to her and just hopefully she's not like just like ending stream. But you have like the watercolor page open, so I'm assuming art is still going on. So I just have to hope it continues on for a while more. Alright. So yeah, so I'll see you all on Saturday. Take care, everybody. Later.
Ia ma kahi warm home I kahi manawa lo ihi e hiki mai ana ua ho'ololi ke kino mai kona ho'olala kumu Eia kamoi a o e homi e no hoali'i e ho awana e ola makahi ana kama aina ole Eia kamoi eia kukamoi I keia manawa ua popo wa amakahi Pae au makahi honua Hei kapa ia o earth Eia au e lana kila ai Aloha ho ko uwai wai E paani mei I keia mau Paani e a ena au koa pau E ake ai E loa a ho ia uka upala paladino me kalava o kaukala Eia